I know who I am. I know who I am because I believe it.
My writing inspiration is threefold. It comes in the form of community, who I am around, who I'm talking to, who I'm engaging with, what I want my poems to do and who I want them to serve. It also comes from music, how I'm filled with joy when I get to see Robert Glasper at the Blue Note, or watching Erykah Badu on stage, or witnessing Lauryn Hill in New Jersey. Those things are parts of poetry for me as well. And then, of course, being able to share my own experience. I'm from a space where children were raised to be seen and not heard. And I think a lot of those things stay with you, right? Even though I'm teaching in different spaces where I'm reminding young people that their voice is valid, I'm constantly unlearning what I was taught about being silenced, about being marginalized, and about my voice not being important in a specific space because maybe it's inconvenient. So I write from those three spaces. Brooklyn Poetry Slam is a community-activated, oriented, and themed event. We use Slam, the vehicle, which is like the Olympics. You give 5 random people a scoreboard, ask them to judge between 1 and 10, the poem that they hear, and the top 3 poets go to the second round, and the cumulative winner is our Slam champion of that event.
From low to high, we have a 9.5, a 9.5, a 9.5, a 9.8, and a 9.9. Give it up for that poet.
But really, that poetry slam, that is just a vehicle to get the people there to listen to poems. We have an open mic that follows. We have a feature poet. We always have music with DJ Jive Poetic.
Slam is a competitive environment, and I played sports when I was growing up. I ran track. I did a bunch of things that were competitive. And then when I realized there's a competition for thinking and cleverness, right? The idea is who could think and who could be the most clever. There's a competition for that. And then I can use poetry in this environment, because that's basically what slam is. Who can be witty, who can express themselves, their emotions. How can you put this on the page and then communicate that with your body and your words on stage?
I think slam accelerates the writing process for some folks, and that makes them, it encourages them to come and do a poem knowing that they will hear instant feedback from an audience, from judges. But what we like to take out of the slam competition space is that energy, the competitive energy, that you losing does not determine your worth, but also you returning means more to this community than you winning. So what does it mean to be invested in writing? Sure. Presenting? Sure. But also exchanging ideas and being culturally responsible.
Dotini nandoya pina ndakulahlwa nguwe mina.
Today, you will. And today you choose. And today is yours. Yes, today is only today. Because tomorrow ain't here yet, so slow down. Slow down. Breathe softly. Breathe slowly. Breathe for the homies that ain't here. Breathe for the homies that is. Breathe for your own good skin, your smile, your you. Come back. Come back. Come back to yourself. Look at your cheekbones. Look at the loft of your eyebrows. You so worthy.
I'm a big fan of deconstructing borders, right? And I don't just mean like political borders where you can, but also like language borders. How do we make these things linguistically more accessible? How do we take poetry and put it in different contexts or move it internationally and make these international bridges? We forget there's an entire world outside of what we're doing. Like, how do these international exchanges and dialogues happen, right? Because the words travel, the feelings travel. How do we get the bodies in these spaces so they can experience the context?
I am not without support and warm hands to melt my grief. I'm not one to let anger follow example of the hatred that others leave. So instead, I'm gonna meditate, and then I'm gonna roll up my sleeves to shatter bigoted glass and dismantle the United States of thieves. Thank you.
I think the political space is just something that I'm constantly aware of because as an intersectional being, Black woman, Black mother, Black woman writer, I'm constantly engaging with the politics that make it difficult for me to just be. And while I would love to write, a poem just about nature or about something that feels inconsequential, I recognize that anytime I speak, there is something at risk, and so I must.
I think it was in college too, undergrad, when I realized, okay, there's a competition where you can just use your language. What I was doing wasn't quite rap, right? Because people kind of see me, and in the way I present physically, like, okay, let's hear your rap. I'm like, it's not quite sometimes it's rhythmic, sometimes it rhymes. I think rap is probably one of the most difficult aesthetics to write, but it's not exactly what I do. I mean, I'm writing in various structures, but once I realized in college there were these venues where you can say your words. And I realized sometimes the competition gets destructive too, but it was around then when I realized, okay, there's an audience, a place where I can share.
As a 4-year-old once told me in a woke baby read-along, woke means to see everything. Your eyes are open and you are aware. And I think that's the easiest way, right? Like when you're engaging outside of your comfort zone, when you're trying to learn something more than what you just see on TV, Fox News, the Twitterverse, Facebook status, what does it mean to engage and critically think for yourself? I think that is what is woke.
Listen, I'm so used to having to fight with venues, so when I got to BRIC, I was always suspicious, like, okay, and it has not been one, right? BRIC has been unbelievably supportive, right? And it's welcoming a spot, it's a supportive spot, and it's sometimes, even with that, it makes me a little nervous because I'm like, whoa, where's the catch? BRIC hasn't been that experienced. In fact, they've gone out of their way as an organization to make us feel included, to accommodate even some of the ridiculous things we asked for. Let's do a podcast, let's do a studio, let's do it, let's try it.
I connected with the good folks at BRIC, and I was interested in collaborations. Being that I live here and I thrive here, I wanted to make sure that, we connected with folks who were doing things here as well, and we wanted to bring poetry back across the bridge. A lot of my poetry work was centered in Lower Manhattan, and I was excited to bring it back to the borough.
Building like a carpenter, we've only just begun, yo. Record label said I wasn't cute enough. My national success wasn't proof enough, so they signed a model girl, and wouldn't you know, she got knocked up and called off all the shows. It's hard to see folk with less talent than you. They're making bigger moves with a massive crew, but this ain't show and tell, this is show and prove. I'm proof, nothing's ever handed to you. Been missing birthdays and family events, cause your out-of-town show got to pay your rent. Before you got a check, it's already spent. My lupus flared up. My mom's a cancer patient. Rest in peace, she was a cancer patient. Bad things happen. That's how it works out, but applause is the closest thing I got to a handout. It's about putting fate into your own hands. Manifesting God's plan, so I aim high, and then I shoot far. I aim for the moon. If I miss, I hit a star. Aim high, and then you shoot far. Just aim for the moon. If you miss, you'll hit a star. Thank you so much.